Killer Looks by Jansen Davies. Chapter 1. The Ambassador's Daughter. Tara Cross was born beneath the twin moons of Elaris Prime, in a sterile diplomatic suite orbiting the Galactic Union's central station. Her first cry startled the attending medics, human and alien alike, not because it was loud, but because it was defiant. She didn't wail, she roared. Her father, Ambassador Gideon Cross, held her like a fragile treaty. Her mother, Dr. Evelyn Cross, whispered blessings from 3 Earth religions and 1 alien rite. They hoped she'd be a bridge between worlds. She wasn't. By age 5, Tara had broken 3 bones, none of them hers. By age 8, she'd been banned from 6 interspecies playgrounds. By 12, she'd taught herself how to fight in 0 gravity, using only her elbows and a sharpened spoon. She was beautiful. By human standards, she had the kind of face that launched 1,000 spacecraft. But to the aliens of the Union, tentacled, scaled, crystalline, her symmetry was grotesque. Her skin was too soft, her eyes too blue, her smile too expressive. They called her the Horror. She called them practice. Tara didn't care about diplomacy. She cared about dominance. She didn't care about peace. She cared about precision. And she didn't care about friends. She had one already. Steve, a knife forged from the alloy of a collapsed star, gifted to her by a retired war priest who mistook her for a prophecy. It was long, curved, and etched with symbols that pulsed when Tara was angry. She named it Steve because that's what it answered to. The name stuck into walls, into enemies, into anyone who underestimated her. Her parents tried everything: meditation, martial arts, alien empathy training. Nothing worked. Tara didn't want to be understood. She wanted to be feared. After the incident at the diplomatic summit, where she challenged a 12-foot Threxian general to a duel and won, they had no choice. They sent her to the Nartell Academy for Girls. It was a military school, all alien, all elite, all brutal. Tara arrived in a black jumpsuit, boots crusted with dried blood, and a duffel bag that rattled ominously. Her entrance was silent. Her presence was not. The headmistress, a telepathic insectoid named Kazara, greeted her with a forced smile and a mental scan. She recoiled instantly. "She's loud," Kazara whispered to Evelyn Cross. "She's learning," Evelyn replied. "She's dangerous," Kazara insisted. "She's ours," Gideon said. And with that, Tara Cross, the ambassador's daughter, the horror of the Union, the girl with the killer looks, stepped into the academy. She didn't look back. Steve hummed in her bag. The war had begun. Chapter 2. The Academy of Monsters, the Nartell Academy for Girls, orbited the gas giant Zenthra, like a razor circling a throat. It was built for war, its halls lined with trophies from fallen empires, its instructors forged in conflict. No human had ever been admitted. Until Tara Cross. She arrived in silence. Her shuttle docked without ceremony, no welcoming committee, no orientation, just a biometric scan and a warning. Survival is not guaranteed. Tara stepped into the academy's atrium, boots echoing against obsidian floors. Alien girls watched from the shadows, scaled, winged, multi-eyed. Some hissed, others whispered, one vomited. She was hideous to them, a soft-skinned anomaly, a grotesque relic of a species known for diplomacy and weakness. Tara smiled. Steve pulsed in her duffel. Her first class was combat theory. The instructor, a 6-limbed tactician named Varnex, paused mid-lecture to mock her. "Human flesh is fragile," he sneered, "and yours is especially unfortunate. No allies, no honor, no hope." Tara raised her hand. "Yes," Varnex said, amused. I do have a friend, she replied. She reached into her bag and pulled out Steve. The blade shimmered with a dull, hungry light. Would you like to talk to him after class? Varnex gulped. No, that won't be necessary. He never spoke to her again. Word spread fast. The human girl had a weapon that whispered, a stare that burned, a smile that promised ruin. Her dorm was isolated. No one dared room with her. Meals were silent. Training sessions were tense. She was a target, and the bullies of the academy, elite predators from warlike species, were eager to test her. They struck in packs, ambushes, psychic assaults, poisoned food. Tara endured. She didn't retaliate. Not yet. Then the disappearances began. One by one, the bullies vanished. No alarms, no blood, just absence. Security drones found nothing. Psychic scans returned static. The Academy's AI flagged Tara as statistically improbable. Investigators questioned her. She sat cross-legged on her bunk, sharpening Steve. The blade hummed like a lullaby. I miss them, she said softly. They were fun. The investigators left. They didn't return. The academy shifted. Teachers avoided her. Students gave her wide berth. Administrators whispered her name like a curse. Not Tara, Terror. She didn't claim the nickname. She didn't need to. Steve did. Chapter 3. Terror Rising. The first disappearance was dismissed as a prank. Zira of the Core and Clutch, a venom-spitting bully with a reputation for dissolving lockers, failed to report to morning drills. Her dorm was empty. Her scent trail ended at Tara's door. Security drones scanned the hallway. Nothing. No blood, no residue. Just silence. Tara was sharpening Steve. She was entertaining, Tara said, not looking up. The second disappearance was harder to ignore. Velix, a telekinetic from the ice moons of Thorn, vanished during a sparring session. One moment she was taunting Tara with psychic projections of her own death. The next, she was gone. The instructor called for backup. Tara stood alone in the ring, breathing slowly, her eyes half-lidded. She got bored and wanted to leave, Tara said. I helped. By the fifth disappearance, the academy was in lockdown. Security protocols were tripled, psychic barriers installed. The AI assigned to student safety began glitching whenever Tara walked by. It reported anomalous gravitational fields around her, temporal distortions, echoes of war. The headmistress summoned Tara. Kazara's office was lined with trophies, skulls, weapons, preserved memories. She stared at Tara through compound eyes, antennae twitching. Do you know where they went? She asked. Tara sat down, crossed her legs, and placed Steve on the desk between them. I'll miss them, she said. They were so welcoming. Kazara recoiled. You're not normal. I never claimed to be. You're not safe. I never claimed that either. The headmistress filed a report to the Galactic Union. It was flagged, rerouted, and buried. Ambassador Cross had friends in high places. Tara remained. The academy changed. Students stopped speaking in the halls. Instructors taught remotely. The cafeteria installed blast shields. Tara ate alone, always at the center table, always with Steve beside her. Rumors spread like spores. Some said she was a weapon forged by Earth's secret war division. Others claimed she was possessed by an ancient alien spirit of war. A few believed Steve was sentient, and that Tara was merely its vessel. She didn't correct them. She didn't speak unless provoked. She didn't smile unless she was about to strike. They stopped calling her Tara. They called her Terror. And she didn't mind. Chapter 4. The Knife's Edge. By midterm, the Nartell Academy no longer functioned as a school. It was a containment zone. Tara Cross had no rank, no title, no official authority. But she ran the place. Instructors submitted lesson plans to her for approval. Students changed their schedules to avoid crossing her path. The Academy's AI, once a proud tactical system named VIREX, now referred to her as Override Entity. She didn't ask for power. She simply stopped asking for permission. Steve was always with her, not hidden, not holstered, displayed, on her desk, in her lap, beside her tray in the cafeteria. It pulsed faintly like a heartbeat. Some swore it whispered. Others claimed it blinked. One student tried to steal it. She was never seen again. Tara didn't speak of the disappearances. She didn't threaten anyone. She didn't need to. Her presence was enough. The Academy's headmistress, Kazara, filed another report to the Galactic Union. It was marked critical. It was buried within hours. Ambassador Cross responded with a single message. She is fulfilling her potential. Kazara began to unravel. She installed psychic dampeners in Tara's wing. They failed. She hired a mercenary empath to probe Tara's mind. He fled within minutes, screaming about a blade that dreams. Tara remained calm. She attended classes. She passed every exam. She never raised her voice. She never raised her knife, unless provoked. One day, a new instructor arrived, a veteran of the Threxian Wars. He believed in discipline. He believed in fear. He mocked Tara's appearance, called her a soft-skinned parasite, laughed at her silence. Tara stood. She walked to the front of the class. She placed Steve on his desk. "Would you like to talk to my friend?" she asked. The instructor resigned the next day. He was missing his nose. Rumors spread faster than light. Steve was sentient. Steve was ancient. Steve had chosen her. Some believed Tara was possessed. Others believed she was evolving. She didn't correct them. She simply sharpened her blade and smiled. Chapter 5. Valedictorian of Violence. The Academy didn't know how to graduate her. There was no precedent for a student who had rewritten the rules, silenced the bullies, and bent the faculty to her will. Tara Cross had completed every course, passed every combat trial, and dismantled every hierarchy. She hadn't just survived the Nartell Academy. She had conquered it. The headmistress, Kazara, summoned the Crosses for a final meeting. Her compound eyes twitched with exhaustion. Her voice was brittle. "She must leave," Kazara said. "She's not a student. She's a sovereign threat." Gideon Cross nodded. "She's ready." Evelyn Cross smiled. "She's perfect." Tara sat quietly, Steve across her lap like a sleeping serpent. The graduation ceremony was held in the Academy's War Hall, a chamber reserved for victory rites and surrender negotiations. No students attended, no faculty spoke. Only the AIVIREX recited her achievements in a monotone voice that trembled with static. Combat mastery, unprecedented, diplomatic theory, passed with strategic manipulation, psychic resistance, off the charts, peer relations statistically anomalous, casualties unconfirmed. Tara stepped onto the dais. She wore a black uniform tailored to her frame, boots polished, hair braided like a warrior queen. Steve was sheathed at her side, humming faintly. She was valedictorian. Her speech was 6 words long. "Don't start fights you can't win." Then she turned, walked down the aisle, and left the Academy behind. No applause, no farewell, just silence and fear. The Galactic Union didn't know what to do with her. She was too dangerous for diplomacy, too effective for war, too unpredictable for protocol. So they gave her the impossible jobs: treaty negotiations with hostile planets, peace talks with warlords, first contact with species that spoke in screams. Tara accepted. She wore her uniform. She carried Steve. She smiled like a predator about to strike. Her first assignment was the planet Korash, home to the Threxians, a race that had never signed a treaty without bloodshed. They laughed when she arrived. She didn't laugh back. The treaty was signed in blood, not hers. Tara Cross had graduated, but she hadn't stopped sharpening Steve. She hadn't stopped smiling. And somewhere, in the dark corners of the galaxy, the bullies were still disappearing. Chapter 6. The Union's Secret Weapon. The Galactic Union didn't advertise her. Tara Cross was never listed on diplomatic rosters. Her missions were classified, her movements redacted. She didn't attend summits. She ended them. Her name was whispered in war rooms. Her image, when it appeared, was grainy, distorted, always with Steve gleaming at her hip. Some believed she was a myth. Others knew better. She was the Union's secret weapon. Her assignments were impossible. The planet Varn had been in rebellion for decades. Its leaders spoke in pheromones and fire. Negotiators had died trying to translate their demands. Tara arrived alone. She walked into the rebel stronghold without armor, without backup, without fear. She walked out with their leader's head in a containment bag. The treaty was signed the next day. On the ice world of Tharn, a warlord named Krell had declared independence. He was telepathic, paranoid, and surrounded by a militia of mind-broken zealots. The Union sent Tara. She didn't speak during the negotiation. She simply placed Steve on the table. Krell screamed. His militia fled. The planet rejoined the Union. Tara's methods were unorthodox. She didn't argue. She didn't plead. She didn't threaten. She arrived. She listened. She waited. And if diplomacy failed, Steve spoke. No one knew what the blade was made of. Some said it was forged from the bones of a dead moon. Others claimed it was a fragment of a forgotten god. It pulsed in her presence. It sang when she was calm. It screamed when she was not. The Union's analysts tried to study it. They failed. One researcher touched it. She disappeared. Tara didn't care about politics. She cared about outcomes. She didn't care about alliances. She cared about silence. She didn't care about legacy. But legacy cared about her. Her name became a warning. Her face became a symbol. Her knife became a prayer. And somewhere in the dark corners of the galaxy, warlords began surrendering before she arrived. Just in case. Chapter 7. Legacy Protocol. Tara Cross didn't retire. She vanished. One day she was negotiating with the warlords of the shattered moon, Tyrex 9. The next, her ship was found drifting in orbit, empty. No distress signal, no damage, just a cross carved into the pilot's chair. The Galactic Union declared her missing in action, but no one believed it. Some said she'd ascended, merged with the blade, become something more than human. Others claimed she'd gone rogue, hunting war criminals in the outer systems. A few whispered she was building something. They were right. Years later, a transmission pulsed through Union channels. No origin, no encryption, just coordinates and a message. Peace is a blade. Keep it sharp. At those coordinates, orbiting a dead star, they found a station, small, silent, shielded from scans. Inside, a school, not for diplomats, for survivors, the Cross Protocol Academy. Its motto, "Don't start fights you can't win." Its founder was never named, but every student knew the legend. The girl with the killer looks, the horror of the academy, the diplomat who never negotiated, only ended things with a knife named Steve. They trained in silence. They studied war. They learned to listen before they spoke, and to sharpen their blades before they smiled. Tara's name was never spoken, but her legacy was carved into every corridor. Chapter 8. Killer Looks. She became a legend. Across the galaxy, warlords surrendered to shadows. Treaties were signed with no emissary present. Entire planets changed course after receiving a single, unsigned message. "She's watching you." Her image, when it appeared, was distorted, stylized, sacred. A silhouette with a blade, a smile that promised ruin, a presence that bent time. Steve became a symbol, Tara became a warning. But in the quiet corners of the galaxy, she became something else. Hope. She spared the weak. She protected the lost. She taught the forgotten how to fight, how to endure, how to disappear when necessary. She was never seen, but she was always felt. And somewhere in the dark corridors of the Cross Protocol Academy, a new student, young, fierce, and hideous by alien standards, found a blade in her locker. It pulsed when she touched it. A note was etched into the hilt. "Don't start fights you can't win, but finish them." The student smiled, and somewhere far beyond the reach of the Union, Tara Cross sharpened her knife and smiled too. She was beautiful, hideously beautiful, and the galaxy would never forget her. The end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.